Hello, I am Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and the technical guy. Miriam wanted blue instead of green today.
I don't have green hair, so I still have green hair right here.
If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. Designed to make doing keto, whatever. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for daily updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. Thanks so much for joining us on our journey.
Yeah. All right, so we got a bunch of people on. Randy and Chad are on, so is Shauna and Glenda.
Good morning, guys.
Jerry is super sad. His coffee is gone, and he has to make another cup.
That is sad.
Sonny says, good morning, all my keto friends. Rhiannon is on also. Tracy says, good morning, Keto Cup peeps.
Good morning.
Suzanne says, good morning, everyone. Sonia's on, and so is Susan.
And Becca's here. She says, good
morning,
Becca. Friend.
Okay. I missed
Becca.
Matt says, morning. Easy Zell says, happy Friday. Lynette says, good morning from the fabulous Keto Chow storefront.
Fabulous.
And let's see, Deborah says, good morning from Minnesota. Anyway, so what's the flavor of the week?
Chicken soup.
Savory chicken soup is indeed the flavor of the week.
Which is good because it's starting to get cold.
We had someone ask if you can have, if you can just mix up this chicken soup and drink it. Absolutely, you can. I've done that. Yeah. I think it was a Reddit conversation. I usually add salt.
Definitely.
And I usually add some cheese and some meat and things like that as well. But I have done it where the only thing I added was salt. It was actually really good.
I've done that too.
So, but you can also use it to cook with.
Mm-hmm. Chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, there's
biscuits.
There's all sorts of fun stuff.
We'll probably make drop biscuits for Thanksgiving.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I looked at our local Lucky's grocery ad, and they have prime rib roast for, I think it was $5.99 a pound, bone in. So I'm going to get a bunch of those. And then they also have beef cross rib, which I'm just going to use as a roast. And I'm going to make the shredded beef in a crock pot. And if you spend over $100, they'll give you a 12-pound turkey for free. I'm like, and they said limit one. I'm like, you're going to have to limit meat to one because I'm going to buy a lot of meat. Anyway, I'm going to do that
today. Nice. Oh, and today is the last day that you can order the croutons from Fox Hill's Kitchen and get them before Thanksgiving. And they are the best keto bread croutons, and because they're like super crispy and yummy and they work really well. We used them last year's with Carrie Brown's stuffing recipe, and we have a recipe of our own this year that uses Keto Chow chicken soup, which is also this week's flavor of the week. So anyway, we're going to do that for our Thanksgiving. And if you want to order them, you want to order them. Do you want to pull up? Oh,
so here we are.
Okay.
So this is our Keto Chow gift guide and Black Friday cheat sheet. So under the Keto Hostess, you've got a link to Fox Hill's Kitchen right there. And there's a link to the Keto-fied stuffing recipe, which our Holly did.
Yeah, so it's actually her grandmother's recipe or something like that. And so she just altered it to keto-fy it.
So 4 cups of the Fox Hill's Kitchen crouton.
Mm-hmm.
Stick of celery, onion, poultry seasoning, sage, savory chicken soup, unsalted butter.
Which I would use salted.
Warm water, salt, and pepper to taste.
Yes.
And here are and like Miriam said, today's the last day to order them in time for Thanksgiving, right?
And we just love having them because they're just so crunchy and yummy. And
she only has one customer review on here.
Oh man, we should
take care of them.
On there.
You've ordered from them a lot of times.
A lot of times.
Yeah. Okay. See, here you go. Order by 11/19 to ensure delivery by Thanksgiving. Okay.
And they usually don't have them in that group of the 4, so it's really nice that you can get that many.
There's the link.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joanne says, good morning, everyone. Have a great day.
Good morning.
Shauna
Have a
says, I
great
need to
day,
check my luckies. Randy's going to Costco. I went to Costco yesterday. Becky says, our Costco doesn't carry pork belly. I'm crushed. So when I went to Costco yesterday, they had the sliced up pork belly and they had the full pork bellies, which it kind of looked like a brisket.
It does look like a brisket.
And I'm totally going to smoke it like a brisket.
Okay.
That's Joe's thing.
I'm going to eat it.
He's like, just take a pork belly, rub it down with all the stuff you would normally do for a brisket, and cook it like a brisket. I'm like, okay. Holly says, does that work at Lucky's today? So here we go. It's in my grocery list. Lucky's weekly ad. I'm going to zoom right in.
Okay.
So see, free turkey when you spend $100 or more. There's the cross rib roast.
Okay.
I'm going to get a bunch of that.
Nice.
And then here we have the beef ribeye roast of $5.98 a pound.
Is it
bone
in?
Sold whole in the bag. So it is
A
a
giant prime rib. So you can
log
smoke
of
that,
meat.
and then we can cut
and
it
then sous
apart.
vide it. Yeah.
Okay. That's
So
my favorite.
I'll take the bones out. Now a prime rib roast prime rib roast is just ribeyes that haven't been cut up.
It's just not cut. Yeah.
So, and if it comes bone in, you can just cut the bones out, give them to your chickens, because chickens that eat cows are the superior velociraptors.
They also like it a lot.
Yeah, they do. Anyway, so you can cut out the bones and you can either slice them up and make really thick ribeyes, or you can make prime rib roast.
Yeah.
Which my preferred way to do it is I'll smoke them for a couple hours, put them in the freezer, then I will vacuum seal them, put them back in the freezer, and when it's time to eat them, and we have a couple of these in the freezer right now, I'll take those vacuum bags and put them into the sous vide and finish them off. I'm going to take them right out of the freezer. Good. So, just got me a little bit of monologuing there. Let's see. I wanted to say something about, we were talking about our customer service and how amazing. And one of the things that we like to do is we like to have our customer service the way that we like to treat our customers the way that we want to be treated by other companies.
Yeah, which I think we also understand that like companies still have to survive, and they have to charge what they need to charge sometimes and whatever, but we like to be available to work with people, because how many times have I gone to a website and I can't find where you put the coupon code in all the flipping time, because I can't figure it out. And I'm like, if I go forward and then it says, and I'm checking out, like I'm nervous that I am going to get to the past it. And then it's like, thank you. And I'm like, coupon code and all this other jargon. So I like companies that I can reach out to and say, oh, I made a mistake, or accidentally remember how I told you about features last week or this week, how I messed up and got the white medium and I needed black large. So I contacted them and they fixed it and I was so happy.
So I wanted to call out to a specific company that is doing customer service right.
Yes.
So this is Pyrodrone, pyrodrone.com. They're out of California, which is kind of unique because almost all of the places that sell drone parts, for some reason, are in Florida. I don't know why, but like all of them are in Florida.
Except for this one.
Except for this one. Look at that guy.
Wow,
he looks silly.
He looks so nice.
Anyway, way back like a year and a half ago, when Joe got me that one drone, he bought it from Pyrodrone.
Okay.
And I've been buying a lot of stuff from Pyrodrone. I needed some spare parts for Sam's drone.
Yes.
And I placed an order, and then I realized that I needed some additional stuff. And so I placed another order, sent them a message saying, hey, if you want to, you can combine these. If you order over $60 on their site, it's free shipping. Well, they didn't find the message until after they had shipped both orders.
Yes.
so they weren't able to combine them, but they just went ahead and refunded the shipping on the second order.
Which they still had to pay for.
They still had to pay for it, but they were like, we wouldn't be able to find your your orders to combine them together. We just refunded it.
Oh, that's
which
nice.
That's the sort of thing that we do, and it's the sort of thing. Well, usually we find it is what it is, but because our customer service team, I think this is one person act. They do everything. Mm-hmm. But if you place 2 orders, our customer service team will absolutely get your orders combined. It is best if you contact us.
Yeah, because we do look, but sometimes there's just so many orders that we don't catch it. And so if you contact us, then we should be able to find it.
But I do want to call them out in a good way. Mm-hmm. If someone in your life needs some FPV drone stuff, please check out Pyro Drone.
It's an expensive hobby.
Drones are less expensive and take up a lot less space than classic automobiles.
Cars, you have to have garages for that. Drones could just sit on a table.
I have one cupboard and a drawer.
It's a dedicated cupboard
that I get in the laundry room.
You could have more if you want.
That's where all my drone stuff is. Anyway, so I just wanted to give them a shout out. And Ned says, good morning. I just purchased Keto Chow. We'll be trying to do a challenge to see how long I can do it.
Awesome.
All right.
Make sure you look at your macros that you figure out so that you can get enough protein. So you may want to look at
speaking of which, protein. When I was at Costco yesterday, we were out of tuna fish. I also bought a couple cans of salmon, which is a really good way to increase your protein if you need additional.
Yay.
And I think if you need a snack, protein is the best thing to go with. Blaine says you're slacking bears.
Yes,
Jerry says, lucky hack, not quite. Go buy your meats, take it to your car, go back in and do it again. Lots of free turkeys to give away. You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Although they might...
they would recognize you. Nobody buys as much meat as you.
I think the last time I went to Lucky's and they had the prime rib roast on sale.
Like 2 entire carts.
Well, it wasn't 2 entire carts. Not when we went to Lucky's.
Okay.
But I think last year, it was about this time.
Yeah.
I may have bought $400 worth of meat.
Or more.
It was.
And that was a good price. Like $400 worth of meat, you usually get a lot less.
Yes.
So I feel like
Shauna says, nope, meat not on sale here. Dennis says, good morning, Bears. And all the Keto Chow family. Thank you for the locals Lucky's tip. BBB&E looks possible. Mm-hmm. Shauna says, our Lucky's doesn't love me. Beef ribeye roast, bone in, $10.99 a pound. You are in a different market, though.
Yeah.
So that actually probably is a good price for California. Blaine says you can always use the bones for bone broth. It's not really thick bones. I don't think they have much marrow in them.
I don't remember.
Let's see. Lovely says, hi from India.
Oh.
Let's see. Randy says customer service is key to being a great company.
We try so hard.
Shauna says,
I think they're great.
Yep. Shauna says Keto Chow customer service should train the world's customer service people. No, just treat customers the way that you want to be treated. Let's see. If I was going to be frequenting a company, how would I want them to respond to me? That's really that easy. Jerry says totally kidding about hacking the store. Yeah. Let's see. Kathy says your customer service and company is amazing. Suzanne says, I've been checking the Lucky's ad each week since they run great deals each week. Mm-hmm. They generally do. And it's usually good deals on meat. And every time I go there, it's just a funny store to go to. They only have one near me. It's actually kind of by my parents' house.
Yeah, we should go see it.
Shauna says, if Keto Chow customer service did my roadside, I wouldn't have blocked out my car for 4 hours in the dark the other night.
Oh, no.
Jerry says there are no Lucky's in Arizona. Bong!
That means it's
9:30. That clock.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's an app I can run on, I don't know, Google Home or something like that that'll do the same thing.
That's funny.
MJ says, I like the way you all treat me.
Clock.
Well, we have that clock. We bought it.
I mean, for our house.
Oh. Yeah, but then you would want some grandfather clock. And then the kid would run into it. We actually had a discussion last night.
They're not crazy.
So when we did the remodel on our house, we bought 2 sectional sofas.
Yes.
took off 2 sections from each one and made a giant U shape.
Yes.
There is a
I'm sure
video.
You guys have seen it before.
There's a video on our YouTube channel where our house was actually clean, and so we did a walk around. But there's
hair's bugging me.
There's the back of people's heads tends to get some sticky stuff on one part.
Hair gel.
Hair gel, and it was getting sticky on this one section. So last night I took a spray bottle and I cleaned it off. I'm like, hey, this is actually starting to wear down a little bit. And Miriam was like, well, you can just get another one. Well, it wasn't quite like that. I know, sorry. And I said, well, you got to remember though, in a couple of years, there might be little children involved in the picture again.
Then I'll just get another one.
But then we would want to wait until they're done ruining the stuff.
Or enjoy a really nice looking sofa. You're always just going to be for kids for the rest of your life.
So if we get a grandfather clock, they're going to break the glass on the front. And Steve doesn't work for a glass company anymore.
Are you intending for them to run around like bulls? Our kids, they're not crazy. They're super
Mythbusters tested bull in a china shop, and bulls don't run into stuff. They are a lot more nimble on their feet.
They still broke stuff.
What, the bulls?
Yeah.
No, if I remember correctly, the bull was able to dodge around everything.
I think they did.
With impunity.
But they also still broke stuff.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Matt says, I feel like everything I've been buying lately is from Utah. Keto Chow, Redmond Salt, Unified Networking Equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Are they in Utah?
Really?
I've seen they have corporate offices in Utah, but I'm going to have to check that. Suzanne says, Lucky's is owned by Albertsons. Yes, they are owned by Albertsons.
I miss Albertsons.
Which we don't have in Utah anymore.
We used to have one right by our house.
Maybe they just rebranded.
I work
it's kind of like
Albertsons.
Facebook. We'll just change our name to Meta, and no one will notice that we're weird anymore. Since crafting is heavy, took up a new hobby, hunting. Shot my first turkey yesterday. Scared the crud out of the people in the freezer aisle. Becky says we don't have Lucky's in Albertsons. All we have is Kroger and Meijer.
We have Smith's is Kroger.
Yep.
And not Meijer.
MJ says, my daughter worked as a customer service person for Boat US. Their training was phenomenal, but alas, her anxiety of people being stranded in their boats was not a good fit for her. When we went with Joe and Rachel and Steve and Holly down at, what's it called? Lake Mead. We got out and the boat wouldn't start again.
Yeah.
Steve had to shut everything down, open up the boat compartment, move some stuff around, take apart the air filter so that more air could get in there, and it was barely able to start. And we were like,
We're all learning how to swim today.
Yeah. Blaine says board game collecting is a space sink too.
Yes.
Let's see. Debbie says, can we have Keto Chow if we have some dairy issues?
So that's a good question. We have quite a few people who do have dairy issues who use avocado oil.
Mm-hmm. Depends on the dairy issue.
In their Keto Chow. But yeah, it depends on how sensitive you are. We have more casein than lactose. Well,
we have more casein than whey. There is very little lactose. Mm. So if you're lactose intolerant, you may actually be okay. We have a lot of people who are lactose intolerant, and the amount of lactose that's in Keto Chow, if they use butter or avocado oil, is fine.
Also, baking with it might be different.
Yeah.
So I would just also, if you do try it, try one thing at a time. Make sure that throughout the day you eat all the regular things that you eat that you know you don't have problems with, because I would hate for you to have this and so thing for breakfast and then Keto Chow and then have a sick stomach and not know which thing to decide between. So,
which is kind of what Joe and Rachel are doing with their road back from BBB and E. Mm-hmm. B and E. Yeah. They're only introducing new things a little bit at a time to see what's working. So good point. Now, if you're allergic to dairy protein, we do actually have 3 flavors. Well, one of them is that's the savory chicken soup. Where'd the beef soup base go? I thought I had one. Anyway, the beef soup base, the taco soup, and the tomato soup do not have any dairy in them. So those ones technically would actually be okay. And the beef soup base is just unflavored Keto Chow that happens to use beef protein, you can actually add flavors and even sweeteners to it if you really wanted to. Mike says, I want to buy a drone to photograph roofs someday. If you're going to do that, I would actually recommend the DJI Mini 2. It's a fantastic drone that's fairly inexpensive and is a great camera platform.
The one thing you have to remember about drones is they don't work super well in the wind. So,
which is why I didn't get new footage of the mountains last night.
It was windy.
It was windy. Now, the DJI ones do a fairly good job in the wind. The fancy flying around kind,
not so much. They float away.
Yep.
They get blown away.
Blaine says, as long as you leave the building, it's a new visit.
Yeah.
Kathy says, go to a different cashier. All right, family says, we got ground beef on sale at our local mom and pop stores for around under $3.
Right.
That's amazing. Dennis says, so who's ready to join the Geek Club? Geek Club. Like geek.
I have several pounds of geek.
I actually just took a bunch of butter home last night.
Yay!
Sarah says, I love your customer service staff. Lynn says, how close is Lucky's to Keto Chow? Lucky's is on Redwood
15
Road
minutes.
and 70th South. It's about 15 minutes away. You just get on Redwood Road and keep on going north. Annette says, I just purchased a quarter beef and a half hog. Hopefully it's done by December. Well, even if it's not, it'll be amazing.
Delicious someday.
Home Healthy Mama says, morning. Carrie is on, says, I didn't get a notification unless it went somewhere else.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe it went to the implant that you have in your elbow.
What?
Who knows?
Black Friday. I didn't show this on the other.
Hey, it looks really good against
It's really
that.
good right there on the blue background.
Yes, it does.
So this is the ice cream glass that goes. That's the door buster. Or if you wanted to see that in person. It doesn't hold a whole Keto Chow probably, but that definitely is kind of nice to split ice cream or something.
That's right. Let's see. Did I say Kathy got a free turkey at Winco?
Nice.
Let's see. Carrie says Keto Chow needs a big bag that will last for 30 days instead of 21 days. We don't have a bag that lasts for 21 days.
Yeah.
We have a 21
It will
meal
last for 21 days if you
bag.
only have it once a day. So
Yes.
there you go.
And we actually have a FAQ on our website about what sizes of Keto Chow are available. And on that, we talk about, we only have two sizes. We have a single meal bag and we have a 21 meal bag, which goes back to, it was designed so that you could eat 3 meals a day for a week. And this is food for a week if you were to eat it 3 meals a day. We don't do any other sizes because we're trying to keep your costs down as much as possible. Having a 10 meal bag or a 30 meal bag or a 70 meal bag, they don't pack as well into the boxes that we're using. So we are just only going to do the 2 different sizes, and that works. If you want to do 30 meals, you can always get a 21 meal bag and 9 singles.
Yep.
Which is what the Chow Club has.
Yay.
Let's see. Carrie says, I buy real salt from HEB.
Oh, nice.
Holly put the bull in the China shop video. Mike says, future shipping monkeys, a.k.a. future grandkids.
Right?
Well, first, our children need to actually talk to members of the opposite sex. Rhonda says, getting confused. Was it the November Chow box that had Irish cream? Yes. I know I had a pack, but was the October or November.
It was November.
Yeah, it was the November. Matt says, some of my stuff from Unify shipped from Draper, about 1 mile from you all. I know that they have a location here, pretty close to us, actually.
We'll just walk over there.
It's over by the Front Runner station.
Oh, yeah, that's right here.
Yeah. Let's see. Jerry says, we have Albertsons and Safeway here in Arizona, both owned by Albertsons. We have lots of Fry's Foods owned by Kroger's. Been my go-to grocery store for years. Carrie says, the bag is light since there's less whey. Well, now here's the thing. We actually use milk protein isolate, which is all of the protein that is in cheese and whey combined.
Yep.
Let's see. I like playing the straight person when people tell jokes. It's not normal for me. So
Playing the straight person, not the joke person.
not the joke person.
Okay.
Jerry says, question: If making chicken soup, do you suggest waiting 30 minutes prior to eating? No, it actually says on the package that you don't need to. It's not about the mineral absorption. You wait the time because it allows all of the stuff to dissolve fully. Mm-hmm. When you use warm water, it dissolves immediately, and you don't need to wait. So, Jerry, I think I've actually answered that question to you before.
No, you haven't.
I think I have. Anyway, I'm happy to answer it again. Yep. Let's see. Carrie says beef soup base needs to be turned down some because it's base. It's all about that base. Mary says, good morning, all. Just getting ready to go out to shovel a foot of snow.
Oh, wow.
My 80-foot driveway. Decided to hang with y'all for a while. Need to put it off just a little longer.
Wow.
She was talking on Autumn's live stream that there's a lot of people who have been getting flooding, and then it's below freezing, so you're getting freezing temperatures and flooded houses. No. They're okay, but other people are not.
That is not good.
So, good off. Let's see. Maria is on. Good morning, Maria. That face is very beautiful. Okay. Carrie says, if it went there, then it would go to Elbowbook instead of Facebook. Mm-hmm. Blaine says, is the ice cream glass actually glass?
It is.
Yes.
It's
actually glass.
It's a really satisfying sound.
It is a very satisfying sound.
Do that again.
Home Healthy Mama says, we just bought half a cow. Half a cow, man. Tikuru Zakiyo says, good morning. Blaine says, 50-pound bags of Keto Chow. Yeah, lots of people have said, why don't you have like a giant bucket? Because it would cost way more to ship. It's also a single point of failure for a lot of expensive stuff that we don't want one thing to ruin it all. So we're just only going to have the 2 sizes.
Yep.
Let's see. MJ says, who is right, embossed or sketched? It's etched.
That's right. It's etched.
Yep. It's etched using a laser. So the laser comes along, goes beep, 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 and it blasts away tiny, tiny amounts.
It just doesn't look like it's like deep. That's the thing. So when you say embossed, I feel like embossed is something different. This is etched.
Yep.
So that's the correct word. We were not using the correct words before.
Carrie, I'm not sure what you're talking about with being forever wrong. Let's see. Randy says, Carrie, that would make it timeless. To Crazy Keto says, let's put Chris, Carrie, and Rachel in their room to tell silly jokes.
Right.
And Randy says, Carrie, maybe we would just need more cowbell.
Right. We actually talked about that in...
Someone made that joke this morning. Yeah. Just said that would be fun to watch. It would be fun. Randy says that would be worth having for a live stream. Mm-hmm. Mary says British Columbia is a mess. Never seen prayers. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we already talked about what the flavor of the week is.
Do you want to go over Black Friday, the landing page again real quick? And then
here we are back at Pyro Drone. Again,
of the week.
Amazing customer service.
And don't forget to order your Fox Hills Kitchen croutons for Thanksgiving because they are amazing. And really, you could almost use any stuffing recipe because it works really well.
That's a nice addition.
What?
Letting know what time it's going to be starting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the whole store is going to be 10% off.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff is going to be 50% off. We've got the brand new starter kit. It says, I'm a bag. That switches out lemon meringue and caramel macchiato for the strawberry and mocha that used to be in the starter kit. As currently. You've got 50% off the fall go pack.
Yep.
Whoops.
You click on it.
Which is not available yet. Oh my gosh. 50% off the classic go pack. And then starting at midnight Eastern time, we'll have the doorbusters. You've got this guy, the ice cream bundle. That's going to be $25.
Yep. And then you've got a free Simple Modern flask.
Yeah, and it's 18 ounces. which is too small to hold a Keto Chow, but it's a great for keeping ice cold.
Yeah. And water cold.
And yes.
You just said ice.
Well, ice is water.
That would be nice to just have ice and nothing to drink inside.
For keeping water cold in its various forms. And then there's something new that you haven't been able to get before. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. Oh, John says embossed is raised, etched is carved into. Huh, nice. Okay. Yeah, Mary says BC is a mess, never seen anything like it. Rainstorm called an atmospheric river. Many highways gone, farms wiped out, whole towns evacuated, thousands of stranded motorists. It's just crazy.
That's sad.
See, Joe says Chris can be serious usually when he's talking nerd stuff. Absolutely.
Yes.
You slide dog. You got me monologuing.
Sometime.
While I'm wearing a shirt that says this is not a drill. Faye says, I want to personally thank you both for coming up with Keto Chow. It's a very large part of my keto lifestyle and makes life so much easier.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing with us.
Mike says, etch it like you sketch it. Drive it like it's hot. Ron says, with New Orleans hurricanes and the loss of power, I'm not stacking up my freezers anymore. I could never buy any part of a cow. The loss of meat is just too great.
Oh, yeah.
I hate losing all my steaks from Ida. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's sad.
Let's see. Blue Dove says my power is out here too. Had to join on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Hopefully your power comes back. So.
Annette says I just ordered Keto Chow and was just notified that it's already shipped out. Awesome.
What flavor are you going to try first?
Holly points out all but the doorbusters will also be available if you come into our storefront in Draper, Utah on Wednesday.
24th, which we also will have Oh Hello Bakery here, and they are selling their pies. I don't know if you can pre-order anymore, but you could pre-order the pies. They will have some extra, but make sure to come check them out here.
Yeah. Joe says I can also be serious when I talk about cholesterol. Yeah. Looks like you still can order the pies.
Pre-order. Layer chocolate pie.
Pickup location, Keto Chow.
So excited. So we're actually going to make pies today, my daughter and I, because she wants to make real pies, and I'm not going to eat any of the real pies, but we're going to make them.
Yep.
And I'm happy to know that I don't have to make the keto pies to go with them.
Carrie says, when I talk, I'm always wrong. People look at me like I'm from Mars. So, Carrie, that just reminds me of Meet the Robinsons, where the mom tells the wife tells her future husband, she's like, just remember, I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. And then himself in the future says, she's right. And then he goes back to the past and she sees she's there teaching the frogs how to sing. He's like, no, I think you're right. Anyway, Too Crazy Keto says, let's talk about Pyrodrone. That's a fun talk. But we were talking about that earlier. I was telling everybody what a great customer service they are. And if people need to buy stuff that is droney, that they should go there because they did a great job. Maria says, did you say the Black Friday sale is through the 29th? I don't get paid until that day. So it goes... Here, well, I'll bring up a calendar. Oh, the calendar might be covering our heads. So it is going through, it starts on Friday the 26th at midnight Eastern time. And it goes through Cyber Monday, the 29th until midnight.
Cyber Monday, we also have some additional things that we are not posting ahead of time.
Yes, there is.
So we'll let you know.
Yep. So the doorbusters will probably be sold out by the time we get to Cyber Monday, but there is new stuff.
Definitely. The doorbusters will.
Joseph says that's an engineer developer trait. We're never serious unless it's nerd talk. Yes. And that says I'm trying chocolate toffee. I'm trying chocolate toffee, apple pie, pumpkin spice, and savory chicken.
Together?
Hopefully not at the same time.
Ouch.
One time we had a bunch of like random stuff left over, and Miriam just combined it all together.
I've done it multiple times for you.
And I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's
everything."
She's like, "It's chocolate, cookies and cream, salted caramel, banana, strawberry."
No.
I was like,
I only match things that taste good together.
It wasn't very good.
Seemed like they
Rihanna says, "If we're coming into the store on Friday, do we do our order as usual and just do store?"
You can.
You absolutely can.
You can do that.
Yep.
But if you're coming in the store on Wednesday,
if you're coming in on the store, you just won't be able to get the doorbusters.
I see.
So now my recommendation, Rhiannon, would be to place your order at 10 p.m. We're talking Utah time here, 10 p.m. on Thursday night, and do it as local pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do qualify to get one of the
freebies,
the free flask, we actually have a special design that's only available to
in the store
local pickups.
Yeah.
So you could swap that out if you wanted to, if we still have them.
That's true.
Jerry says, I just checked Albertsons here. Prime rib roast is $8.99 a pound. Randy says, Carrie, maybe you could be from Uranus instead of Mars.
Maybe.
Rhonda says, Wendy raved about your Keto Chow pumpkin cheesecake. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Maybe need to add that to my 2-item Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, I like that recipe. That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yep. Blaine says, when you make Maria Emmerich's pudding, do you incorporate Keto Chow? Yes, I do. I usually add a scoop to each of the...
Of what?
Of chocolate. I make it exactly the way that Maria Emmerich's egg pudding. Okay,
the pudding. Sorry. It says pudding. I heard bread.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, I don't remember that ever.
Okay. Matreya's
pudding you do.
Catching the end. Let's see. Home Healthy Mama says, did I see somewhere that seasonal items would be available on Black Friday? Well, so we have the Fall Go Pack, which we previously had. Mm-hmm. That'll be coming back. And we also have the Classic Bundle Go Pack. Yeah. Both of those are going to be 50% off the regular price. Joseph said, when I might be able to come in on Cyber Monday. Mary says, I'm happy to report the border is open. And as soon as they cancel the $200 test requirement to return, I can order my Keto Chow direct from you and have it shipped to Washington State. Yay. You actually said that.
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
That's okay. We're still happy to hear it again.
Blaine says, cargo space? Car no do that. Car no fly. My brother sent me that picture. Maria says, thanks goodness. And that says, no, I'm going to try all those. I just bought them. She just bought those. Steve says, I'm going to make an every flavor mix for April Fools.
Ew.
Faith says, orange mango banana is delicious as ice cream.
That sounds
Mimi
good.
says, happy Friday, Keto Chow fam. And Right Family says, you're to Carrie, you're not stupid. A hero, yes. And super.
Yeah, awesome. You're awesome.
Let's see. Becca says, if I left tomorrow, I might be able to make it to Utah by Friday to do store pickup. Matreya says, Friday, 12:01 shopping. 12:01 Eastern time. Actually, yes. 12 o'clock Eastern time. You all know I'm not awake at that time.
I know, you have to set an alarm.
We are way too old to be up at that time. That's why we're doing it at midnight Eastern time. We used to do it at midnight Mountain time.
Yeah.
And nah.
Holly invited me to go shopping with her. And I'm like, oh, I'm tired.
All right. Well, we're going to get off. Everybody have a fantastic day.
Don't forget to order your croutons.
If you want to do the stuffing recipe, be sure to check out Fox Hills Kitchen.
Yes. And for those of you who do still make a turkey in the oven, it holds up really well to stuffing that actual turkey. The old-timey way that we used to do. Because it's already the bread is already dried. It's croutons that are crispy, and so you stuff that turkey and it is yummy. Me, on the other hand, I take a giant knife and I bisect the turkey down the middle, front and back, and just smoke both sides of it. So it's delicious. Okay, delicious. Bye-bye.